y'all? Got another video for you, a special edition for a good friend of ours that passed away recently, Amar Kang. For those of you who don't know who he was, Amar was Tony Chohan's cousin and really his brother. They grew up together. So it was very tragic. So please keep Tony and his family in your guys' prayers. Definitely want to share what Amar meant to myself and my family. He was, I remember when I bought Hardtimes billiards from the previous owners, they told me, you're not just buying a pool hall, you're buying essentially a family of sorts, because there's some guys in there you're going to see in there every day, and it's one big family. It really is. And we've had some people pass away, some of the senior guys, and it's sad, but they lived beautiful lives, and they pretty long lives. Amar was only 44, so I think it really hit the community a lot harder because it was so tragic. And but it's death is never easy, I guess. But it was a little bit harder on Amar because he had so much life and so much energy and positivity and he was such an incredible person to be around with. And a few days go by, and I really didn't know how to describe Amar. I wanted to speak at his service, but I really didn't know what to say. It took me some time to really think about what Amar symbolized and represented. And it came down to one thing. It was how he allocated his time. Time's definitely the most precious gift we have on this planet. Money, possessions, all that means nothing unless you have your health and your time. And Amar was probably one of the most giving individuals of his most valuable asset, and that was time. He had no issue talking to a random customer about political beliefs or his stance on the pharmaceutical industry. He was definitely one of a kind and a very intelligent man. We had a lot of deep conversations about lots of things, and it's rare because so many people, especially a player at his level and caliber, a lot of people don't realize how good he was. He had a winning record against Bustamante, and I'm talking the 1990s Bustamante. He had a winning record against Perica. He beat Shane Van Boening once at the Chuck Markulis 9-ball tournament. He beat him in the one pocket tournament. People are like, man, Amar beat him. I'm like, you guys sound surprised. Just because you see him all the time doesn't mean he's not a world-class player. And I think, Amar was an asset to have. I would go in with Desiree, like around 11 a.m. noon, and there was Amar hitting balls on table 9 or table 4, doing his drills and adjusting his stance and his grip, and he was just so much fun to talk and to learn from. We had a lot of conversations, and I can honestly say I learned a lot from him. So back to his time and his distribution of time. That was something that it took me a while to understand. He wasn't afraid to have a random conversation with that annoying person for 20 or 30 minutes. He didn't care. He just enjoyed interacting with people, and it was a very beautiful gift. And I admire that now more than ever now that he's gone. And that's something that I think I'm taking away with his passing, because we can learn through some of the most tragic events. We can look at the positives, or we can spiral and downfall and let it beat us down. But Amar wasn't that type of person. He wanted everybody to do better and better. And yeah, I mean, just a huge thank you to Amar for teaching me how precious our time is and how generous you can be with it. And it goes a long way. And if you saw his service, it was standing room only. And, you know, I remember one time a gentleman told me, think about your own funeral. If you can think about your own funeral, those people who go out there and pay your respects, if there's going to be a lot of people at your funeral, that means you did pretty good in your life. If there's only a few people at your service, either A, you didn't have much family, or B, you weren't very kind to as many people as you could have. So make an impact today, and every day. And let's learn from Amar's passing. Let's remember him and honor what he represented and what he stood for. So rest in peace, AK-47. Thank you very much.